This is Far Cry New Dawn. We're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the videos. Subscribing is great as well. So, Far Cry New Dawn is a direct continuation, spin-off, sequel for Far Cry 5. And today we're taking a look at it because it's got the next-gen update applied to it, which basically is a next-gen aware upgrade that is providing us with a native 60 FPS. Which sounds weird to say it like that, but basically the Xbox consoles, they had 60 FPS through the FPS Boost in the past, and then, which kind of dropped like the quality of the experience when it came to basically performance and everything like that. But the big difference is now this is a natively applied update to the game, while being, well, it's not native because it's not a native app, but like instead of FPS Boost, it's actually just built into the game that it has 60 FPS. So I don't know if I'd call that future proofing or anything, but it's good to have that instead of. I don't know if you call it a fake 60 FPS, but hopefully you're kind of getting the gist of what I'm meaning, is it's a proper update to the game. So you're not really getting anything specifically different here for Series S than what was here in the past. Yeah, but hey, it definitely helps, makes the game a little bit better, and is a nice quality of life improvement for those looking to play Far Cry New Dawn, right? That guy's still alive? Wow. That's kind of impressive. So, anyways, yeah, like I was saying, this basically is a game that continues the events of Far Cry 5. I would recommend playing Far Cry 5 before playing this game, but, you know, you do you and how you want to approach this. You can play it by itself and kind of think of it as a self-contained post-apocalyptic story with a bit of a punk aesthetic and style to it. Or you can play Far Cry 5, get the full story, and then come into this one. Do whatever you want. I'm just trying to give you context and stuff like that, too, because I'm sure some people just come and play this. And it's a lot of fun. It's a fine little adventure, but it does, like, literally continue 17 years after a global nuclear catastrophe in Hope County, Montana. You're fighting against the Highwaymen. So it's, like, basically Mad Max meets Far Cry. You're doing various missions. You're trying to, is this like a main mission thing here? Oh, it's a side mission. You're attempting to find allies, resources, and building up an empire of sorts through various areas that you reclaim, which are very familiar if you play Far Cry 5 in terms of, you know, design, everything like that. They're just like destroyed now. And with a little bit of a colorful aesthetic, you're going to love nighttime in this game. It's very beautiful, actually. Because the game has like a natural aurora borealis going on even during the day. But when you get to like night, it's got like a really, really cool vibe going on. So I'm kind of glad I caught that changing of the day to the night. Because it really is kind of cool how it like just shifts lighting-wise. Anyways, the world's been transformed. You got all these guys running around as like basically a biker gang. And you are attempting to deal with them. There's a group of twins, two twins. They kind of run the show. It's basically a bunch of quirky younger kids came together and made a biker gang cult that wears dirt bike outfits and stuff and controls all the resources. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah, so isn't that like a beautiful little backdrop going on there? And then you yourself can go about doing various missions, side missions, the hunting elements where you're gathering resources, all that good stuff. On Series S, I guess I should also mention, because I've been kind of lazy on it, it's 1080p, but it's like not a full 1080p. It's not a dynamic scaling thing, but it's like the one axis is not a full like. It's like 1920 by 1080p. It's not like a full 1080p. So it's kind of like a little blurrier than 1080p would be. It still looks fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's still okay looking and stuff like that. And it's 60 FPS. There's HDR support. So, like, it still looks kind of great. I was hoping to do, there's like dramatic aerial assassinations you can do, and I was really kind of hoping that that was what I was gonna kind of do there, but I guess not. There's perks, a little bit of leveling in this. Mostly it's about crafting things, weird weapons and tools, but also crafting like bullets and things so that you can survive. There's a streamer mode, which I appreciate from doing content creation perspective. And yeah, vehicles, like you kind of battle on land, you know, on foot and everything like that. You battle, like, you might be flying around, you might be driving around. That's kind of like every Far Cry game. If you're not familiar with other Far Cry experiences, basically there was Far Cry 3 started the trend where they were doing spin-offs, so like this is like a spin-off thing. Far Cry 3 had Blood Dragon, 4 had Primal, and then 5 did this, which is like an apocalyptic thing, and then 6 didn't really have that. They sort of baked it into the game, like little weird extra mission things. But yeah, that was kind of a thing that Far Cry did for a long time, was they would take the existing world and then give you a quick little cool spin-off that just, you know, mix things up a little bit. And it's a little bit of a shame that they stopped doing that, because I was really expecting it for Far Cry 6, and I was like, oh, okay. Bit of an odd shift, and then, yeah, here we are today taking a look at this. As I said, it's a pretty neat experience. Like, I actually quite like this game. I think it's quite cool. I think there's a fair bit of extra things to do. It's obviously like a smaller Far Cry experience, you know, don't assume it's on the same level as like Far Cry, well, I mean, it's the same world as Far Cry 5, but it's just not as lengthy for like, you know, story, narrative, character interactions and stuff. So just, you know, fun, smaller, punky Far Cry experience, which I think you genuinely can have like a good time in, because it's just weird. Reminds me of like Rage 2, where they did like the big punk aesthetic and stuff, and that was like a big thing. But no, it really has like its own vibe, and it's like a very colorful world. Like at night here, it's a little bit different. The nights aren't too long in this game, but I was like, oh, this is really cool. Because on Series X, I showed the day, and then, you know, PS5 Pro, I did a video showing off, like, oh, I wanted to do a sidearm takedown. Okay, whoa. I showed off kind of a mix of day to night, and I was like, oh, we should show night a little bit for Series S, the sunset. I'm trying to, like, for the different, it sounds really bizarre probably, but I'm trying to the best of my ability when I'm doing videos where I'm like, hey, here's how this looks on all these things. I'm trying to mix it up a bit so that it's not, like, the same for people, like, that are like, oh, how's it on everything? So I'm trying to, like, do more variety, I guess. I don't know. I hope you get what I'm saying there. I'm trying to make it a little bit more exciting and interesting for people that are viewing stuff, especially if it's like, oh, multiple things, you're not just seeing the same thing over and over again. But yeah, it's genuinely an interesting experience. Like, there's a lot to take in, a lot of weird situations to find yourself in. It's very familiar too, like if you've played, you know, Far Cry 5, the areas, like it's the same map, but it's also like the places you go, the landmarks and stuff are different. They've apocalyptified them. Apocalyptified them. Yeah, they've added elements of like an apocalyptic design, and it's just kind of cool because they're all sort of like, you know, everything's sort of broken down or it's just destroyed. It really is the Far Cry of us. And they give you all these like quirky scenarios that happen, and you're just trying to make your way through the world of Far Cry, right? Doing all this stuff, getting your companions, battling things. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, from like a gameplay perspective, right? You're just playing another Far Cry, which I guess is probably an issue some people have, where it's like, oh, these games, they're all about the same, but I think there's a reason too, and it's because people like the gameplay. Oh, and this game's really good that there's like always something going on. Like, you literally can't stir more than like a few feet and not have like mutant creatures or highway people fighting or mutant people fighting highway creatures. I think that was a crazy turkey that was like coming out here to try to kill these guys. It's quite interesting. Like I said, this game's got quite a vibe to it. I wanted to assassinate this guy. There we go. If you do it right, there's like a takedown where you can like kind of kill them and stuff. Yeah, lots of conflicts going on. Keeps the gameplay interesting, dynamic, a little bit distinct. Hello there. Yeah, it's not bad looking here on the Series S. You know, 60 FPS, decent resolution. Well, not like a great resolution, but you know, it's mostly about the frame rate, right? Getting it smooth, getting it running good. Hilariously, like honestly, I had made a video for Series S already, and then as soon as I heard about this update, I was like, oh, I gotta redo it. But like, the more I'm thinking of it, the more I'm like, huh, because it was like 60 FPS before, and now it's 60 FPS again, and I'm like, well, you know, I want to have an honest, truthful video about it, I guess, but I was just like, instead of deleting everything, I could have just rebranded it. I was like, ugh. Kinda funny from my perspective. Oh, am I out of rockets? That's not good. I kind of wanted to kill the important guy, not the henchman. I don't even think that hurt that guy, did it? How come my knife did more damage than my gun? I did like a cool sidearm thing. This guy's kind of tough. Why does he keep aggressively attacking me? I get that I'm like a bad guy to this dude, but I guess he's like yellow tier? Did he just run back into the fire? Something, the fire, the fire, the fire. Okay. I'll kick you when you're down. I kick you when you're down. What you gonna do when you're kicked when you're down? Oh, you gonna slide across the floor? Oh, where's your friends? You're not so tough, Mr. Yellow Biker Man now, are you? Oh, crap. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. There's more? Okay, well, you burned your friend alive, so, you know, give yourself a pat on the back for that. Oh, they are everywhere. I kind of wanted the loot from, like, the yellow barred enemy. I'm gonna die. I'm not even gonna get any loot. It's not really giving me the takedown option. I can't, like, get my health packs going. Sometimes they, like, don't let you get back up, and you get knocked down again. Oh, jeez, that's not good, because I can't even, like, loot corpses in order to, like, get the ammo I need and stuff like that. That's rough. I wanted the loot, the premier loot of the yellow tier guy. Where did all these other bad guys come from? What is their problem? Why they gotta do me like that? I am a peaceful person trying to live in this sad, depressing wasteland. You don't know what it's like when the Far Cry has cried so far. It's unbelievably near, but also far, but also, like, crazily cried in the New Dawn. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that it got that name twist, too. I like these experiments. It's kind of fun. Like, a lot of people, they just want, like, larger and larger, never-ending games where I'm sort of like, well, it'd be cool to have, like, slightly smaller, but, like, different world games that do different things and have different stuff. Like, you know, like Primal was, like, prehistoric and that. It was kind of entertaining. And then, like, which is funny because I know Ubisoft got in a lot of trouble back in the day for, like, reusing the same map. There was all these articles, and I remember being like, wow, that's kind of lazy. But now that time's gone by and I've gotten older, I'm kind of like, oh, well, you know, it's nice to have little spin-offs like that. Like, Blood Dragon was hilariously entertaining. This game was kind of fun. It was a nice little side story. I know people don't necessarily love it as much, but, like, obviously it's no Far Cry 5, but basically using the same mechanics and everything. It just does something a little bit different, which I think is okay. It'd be nice to have little smaller spin-off things, because, like, Far Cry 6, that game is way too bloated and large. Like, it just literally doesn't... It just doesn't end, is the big thing. It's nice to have some games that actually have, like, conclusions and stuff to them. The Dean's Junkyard. See, doesn't it have like a neat vibe and style to it? And all these people scavenging. Although I think after like 20 years in this sort of apocalyptic setup and nightmare of punky world where actually, you know, after like 17 years, it really shouldn't be like this, right? You would think like, yeah, and that's why it's kind of neat, I suppose, is the idea and the concept that, what is that poster? The idea and the concept is interesting because instead of being like a wasteland, it became a vibrant, colorful place. And I think that's kind of neat, and it shows that, like, hey, the society crumbled and stuff, but, like, this one was a little bit weird, and its apocalyptic style, and it's vibrant and alive, and it's still messed up and terrible, but it's not the dead wasteland you might think it should be. I think that's kind of cool. I do not like the sound of that snake. The snakes are always such problems. They'll just like, you'll just be chilling, all of a sudden it's like, Far Cry snake attack! You'll be like, what? It like bites your hands, you're like, come on! It's like, how could this happen? Inside the search zone. Like, obviously I'm supposed to get in here, but it's locked from the inside. And I'm on the outside. On the outside, looking in, wondering what exactly I'm supposed to be doing. Challenges? Is that what this is? Is a challenge? No, that's not it. I think there's supposed to be something that lets me inside this or something. I want to be on the inside. I want to get inside you, safe. I want to pillage everything you've got. Oh, it's not the wild hogs. The hogs of Far Cry. So I found the door. I just don't know how to get in. And this place got apocalyptic fast. Like, it was such a twist seeing this too. I really wasn't expecting this, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. So it's locked from the inside, obviously. Unless I have a key. Is there like a back door? Or, like, it kind of looks like there's like a back door kind of thing, or maybe I'm supposed to have like a passcode or something like that. I don't know. Target practice. Find the machine. Find what machine? Like the Terminator? Am I supposed to find the Terminator? Find the machine. Is there like a machine that I'm not thinking of? Like, this is obviously too far out. Oh. I keep finding all these components. There's obviously more stuff to find here. Yeah, we have 4 out of 6 for the junkyard parts. Like I said, this is part of the game, was like collecting and gathering resources, which makes sense because it's apocalyptic. It's like survival games. You know, I think we're even hotter at this time, and it's like, yeah, I think they were trying to like lean into that. Whether or not you like that is another thing as well. But it was at least, yeah, they do try to experiment a bit with the Far Cry concept. It's not exactly the same every time, which I appreciate. How far down does the safe zone go? Oh, okay, there's like a cave. That's incredible. Yeah, it's kind of fun playing New Dawn. I do like this one, honestly. It's kind of a neat experience. I think it's something fresh and exciting and different, and you know, it's a fun little apocalyptic beat. I think you can have a good time with this, and I would say it's probably worth playing if you've never tried it before. Like, it's genuinely a different Far Cry. And you can play it self-contained, but you know, do yourself maybe a favor if you can and actually play the full thing. I think you'll get a lot more out of it if you actually play Far Cry 5 and play this. You'll be like, oh, seriously?